Hello everybody and welcome to Nathan on Shuffle and to my latest episode here. I'm trying to kickstart my 2024 year-end list type content, basically running through December. It's always an exciting time of year to be able to catalog like what my favorites were for the year and recommend some last minute albums to you guys. And so I'm excited to get into all of that. It's going to take me some time to prepare a lot of the major things that I'm thinking to do towards the end of this month. Of course, the big build-up towards my big year-end tournament, my top 16 albums in a tournament style to determine what my favorite album of the year was. So it's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm excited to dive into it all. But I thought I'd do a couple of quick videos this week because I know there hasn't been a lot of content as of late on the channel. I've been out of town because of the holidays and all that kind of stuff, so I haven't had much time to prepare and to film things. So I'm going to do a quick shot episode here, maybe two for this week. And the first I'm going to do is some of my favorite artwork for 2024, some of my favorite album covers that I think were pretty exceptional, pretty great. And I'm not an expert when it comes to art, it's basically just what I thought looked good. And I don't know how this art was created, and I know there's a lot of controversy about AI art and how that's utilized, but I just look at a cover and decide if I think it fits the music, if it fits that theme, and if it just speaks to me artistically. So I'm going to mention 15 that I thought stood out from some of my favorite releases of the year. You're starting to get a glimpse into some of the albums that might make my top year lists, so kind of maybe a little bit of a spoiler alert for those of you who follow closely about which albums I put on my year-end lists, but I thought it would be fun to kind of mention some of these for now. First, in alphabetical order, I'm not ordering these are just 15 that I liked, is Beyond the Reach of the Sun by Ancients. This is a big heavy metal type record along the lines of like a Opeth or Mastodon with some mixture of clean and growling vocals and such. But I thought the album cover was just stellar, just a beautiful cover. I'm not sure what this massive figure is, but it evokes some of the best of sci-fi fantasy that I really love, and you'll see that theme through a lot of these covers. I'm just a big nerd for that kind of thing, and I think it's just a really beautiful, detailed piece of artwork that I really enjoyed. I really liked Beardfish's cover from Songs for Beating Hearts. Of course, the return of one of my favorite prog groups this year, and I thought it was a spectacular album. And it's a little bit of a quirky cover. If you look, there's a couple faces in there. There's some hatching chickens or something and eggs on the top of the head there. It's really a bit avant-garde, a bit strange, but it works to me. It fits the vibe of Beardfish and fits the art of their prior albums as well, so I think it's a really cool cover that speaks to me about them and their quirkiness. I liked Big Big Train's cover for The Likes of Us. It's very playful and whimsical. I like how it's framed. There's children running, showcases kind of the nostalgia and the newness. Of course, this was kind of a rebirth for the band after the loss of David Lungden, bringing in a new singer and a new vibe altogether on a new record label. And I thought this cover really evoked that spirit of this is something new and fresh, a young new iteration of the band. And the cover art kind of fit the theme of the album, so to speak. I liked Charcoal Grace by Caligula's Horse. Their cover just evokes the kind of darkness and mood that they're going for on the record. You see that kind of distorted figure of a woman, so to speak, on the cover, and some really artistic swirls and cool colors and things, but staying in that moodier, darker tone. I kind of like that cover and thought it was really well done and fit the darker themes of the music on board. This one's maybe controversial, but I like Jordy Greep's cover for The New Sound. A bit violent, but I think it fits kind of the violence on display, the kind of darker edge to the music, the kind of frenetic nature, and all these kind of darker intentions by these men that are focused on in the lyrics. And the woman cutting off the head here and kind of the blood spurting out. It's a very graphic image, but I think it works for me, and I like the style of it as well. Works with this kind of indie style artist that I think has this sort of an aesthetic, so it worked for me. I liked Isbjorg, their album Falter Endure. It's a simple cover, like a skyscape with a cliff and some people atop of the edge of it. But I just thought it was beautiful. The coloring and the image itself is just really refreshing and beautiful to me. And I think once again fits the feeling of the music, that it's light and airy and has this kind of epic quality at times. And I think this picture really denotes that well. I liked Calandra, their album A Frame of Mind. This is a really beautiful cover, evokes kind of that folk spirit to me, kind of the feelings of nature and this brightness and this, beauty that they display as a band. So I just thought this was a really supremely beautiful album cover that spoke to me. I liked Kairos' cover for Mannequin. It speaks to the whimsy of the band, to kind of their quirky nature. I like the bold colors. I like how it's boldly like this orangey pink, so to speak, which I think fits with their vibrant synth pop 80s sound that they go for on this record, and just a quirky mannequin doll with like a flower for a head. I don't know, it's just a really cool cover to me that I think was unique and really expressed the cool creativity on board this album that they had. I like Neil Morse's cover for No Hill for a Climber. I thought it was just a really cool, well done cover. I like the blues of the water and of the sky and how they match together, of the cool quality to this like big hulking mass in the middle of the cover art. I think it's a really cool image that showcases what you could expect on the record. I thought this was a really beautiful one. Odd Leafs, Where Ideal and Denial Collide. Just beautiful, like, colors and this kind of fantasy type feel to it. Very fantastical, very fun, very whimsical. Just really beautiful swirling colors and a fun introduction to one of the great new prog bands. I just thought this was a wonderful cover. I liked Opeth's The Last Will and Testament. Very dark, almost hard to see the cover, but it evokes really the spirit of the album, of this dark tale, of this like reading of a will and testament and all these dark secrets being revealed to this family. It almost feels like a ghost story here, with these like lingering ghosts in this haunted mansion type setting, and I thought that worked extremely well and fits really well into the aesthetic of the band and their previous album covers. Plantoid's Terrapath was a fantastic cover, really sci-fi-ish in its nature, this kind of alien type pod or something like that, but has this kind of plant nature to it as well. It's really cool, and I could see this as the cover of like a really interesting sci-fi novel as well, and is capturing well the indie jazz rock that's going to be focused on in the album itself. So just a really cool cover that grabbed me right off the bat from a band that came out of nowhere. Sometimes what's cool about a good cover is it just draws you right in and makes you curious and want to listen to the record. I like this record, more in the sci-fi setting, of course. This is Prehistoric Animals Finding Love in Strange Places. I think this is cool, kind of a steampunk style vibe. These are kind of androids as a couple on the cover art, and kind of some cool futuristic settings. And I think that fits kind of the theme of the record, and it's another cool kind of creative cover there. It's Here But I Have No Names For It by Sleep Makes Waves, post-rock band. It's a simple cover, it's kind of more about the coloring, more about the shading, more about just this kind of cool figure. And I like the circle nature, of course. My friend Ian at Rhyme Signatures loves artwork with circles on it, and this fits that bill perfectly well. And I don't know, it's just simple. It's hard to even explain and describe. That's what's hard about artwork and hard about doing a show like this. It's hard for me to even give a lot of information about why this is pleasing to me, but it is, and I really like the look of it, and it's one that I'm proud to display behind me on the wall as well. And finally, I love Versa's cover of Voyage of Destination. Once again, you have that circular object that I really like at the front, and it's once again evoking kind of a sci-fi-ish feel, this big like planet amongst the stars, so to speak, in space. But I just think it's beautiful. The coloring is calming. It's just a really soft, good, beautiful image that I think fits the calming nature of the music on board. Just a wonderful album and a great art to signify that. So that's what's great, is when the art really works in tandem with the music to create an artistic package that's satisfying for the listener. Makes me encouraged to want to pick up the vinyl. You could see the vinyl behind me. I like all these covers behind me. Some I mentioned, some I didn't. But all great, and a great year for really interesting cover art. So wanted to do a quick show. Hope that was interesting to you guys. Let me know in the comments your favorite cover art for the year, if you like these covers that I've mentioned, and if any of them are your favorites or you just don't care for any. I'd be interested to hear your thoughts. So thank you guys, and I'll catch you guys in a future episode. Bye, everybody.